Whoa! The first question is, what is the most important thing you have learned since you started sailing?
I think the biggest thing we've learned while sailing around the world is don't follow the pack, both figuratively and literally. When we're out sailing, there's usually groups of boats that are sailing together, crossing an ocean. And we've always found ourselves in not ideal conditions when there's pack mentality, when it comes to weather routing and finding anchorages and those kind of things. So we are kind of lone rangers out there. We loosely follow the crowd, but not precisely.
And that doesn't mean not to sail with people, because we think sailing with groups of people is an amazing thing. But just make your own decisions and don't get influenced by others. I think that's one of the biggest things we've learned.
Don't follow the pack when it comes to life. Just because everyone has a 9-to-5 job doesn't mean you do. Just because everyone has a house doesn't mean it's right for you. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. And that's really what we learned over the years, is that there's so many different ways of living life, so many different ways of solving the same problem that, don't follow the pack. That's a nasty jellyfish, eh? Next question from Facebook from Stephen Kennedy. How do you deal with stress? Do you want to answer that one?
Oh, sure. What I think actually helps a lot is sharing our story with you, because when we kind of put out all the stress we're going through to you guys that follow us, we feel like we have a team behind us that helps us get through it. And we're grateful for your support always and helping us get through these stressful times. We heard a quote the other day from our financial advisor, and it kind of hit home with us. It's like, do you have a problem or do you just have an expense? You have a problem if you're in the middle of the ocean and your boat is sinking. You have an expense if you're close to land and your boat's falling apart. So really, we had to let some things go. And we have decided that all we need to do is go back to Naho and fix our boat, and that took a lot of the stress away.
For me, I'll comment and say it's less stressful when you're fully committed. Our life is wrapped up in our YouTube channel, which is wrapped up with our boat. So there's no out. You just do it, you fix it, and you move on. And it reduces the stress being fully committed. Highly recommend getting fully committed to what you're doing. You got something?
Oh, I caught a huge fish. Ah! I caught bottom.
Not our boat. This is a loner that needs a little de-spidering. Ashley is really scared of spiders. Oh no, it's not gonna fit. I got the spiders out of it.
I don't know, I think I see some still.
Well, I killed most of them. That's just an earwig, don't worry about that one.
Dad's gonna put it in the water and then we're gonna it looks a little tippier than I said. You have the camera?
Yeah. I must say, it kind of contains the children a little bit more. It's, boats are good containment vessels. Little jails for these little monkeys. Okay, next question. From Instagram, Pat Maloney79 says, on a clear night in the ocean, are the stars amazing to see without the light pollution we see? I have a funny story, but first, yes, the stars start on the horizon at the very bottom when you're way out there on a no moon night. Go all the way across and then you can see them on the other horizon, whereas in the city you can only see them up top. But we were 3/4 of the way across the Pacific, and sleep deprivation was starting to take its toll. I think we're like at day 14. It was my night shift, like 2 a.m. or something, and I start to see a red light on the horizon, and I'm like, oh shit, there's another boat out here. We hadn't seen a boat in 14 days, literally. So I start calling them on the radio. I'm like, vessel at, and I repeat the coordinates. This is sailing vessel Nahoa. We are on a collision course. And I do that like 3 times. I write it down in the logbook, and then nothing. I almost wake Ashley up. About an hour later, I finally realized the red light is starting to go higher in the sky. And it turns out it was a planet going up in the sky. It was rising. It's probably Mars or something like that. Ashley read the logbook the next day and was just howling.
I got a fish!
Give it to Willa.
Here, Willa. Oh, I think it came off. Here. Is it still there?
Looks like it.
I don't think so. Oh, maybe. Here, hold the rod, Willa. You're gonna catch a fish. You caught your first fish. Woo! Don't touch it, Willa, but you can look at it. Isn't it pretty?
Okay, next question from Instagram. Are you going to fix the boat or buy a different one? And then another question says, next dream boat, question mark? Bigger boat, smaller, faster? What do you think, Ash?
Oh.
What's the plan here?
So, of course we're gonna fix our boat. When we're done fixing the boat, it's gonna be better than ever, as always. But yeah, it's a little annoying, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna fix the boat. We're gonna fix it as best we can in the Seychelles, make it safe. Then we're probably gonna take it to South Africa and have it rehauled if we need to have more extensive work done. That's our current plan, but we're not 100% sure what is wrong with it. So we're gonna go and double check a few things as soon as we get back next week. And we hope to have everything kind of tidied up in about 2 weeks, and then we should be sailing again. It may not be pretty, but it's gonna be fixed. We are also looking into our next boat. We are absolutely looking to make a move in the coming years, and we hope to buy a bigger, faster, sort of sturdier boat. Is that a way to put it?
Fish on!
Whoa!
Yeah, we're gonna buy a newer, stronger boat. We've said this before in other videos. We want to go south and north.
Whoa, that one's even smaller.
To different latitudes, and that requires a different kind of vessel. I also don't want to spend all my days in the engine compartment sweating, trying to fix something. I'd rather be out sailing, making videos, earning an income that way, and making content for you guys, because that's what we enjoy the most, not fixing a boat. There are no manufacturers handing out boats, so unfortunately we just need to come up with the hard cash to make this happen. So it's going to take a little bit of time, which is fine. You want a fish, Willa?
Well, it seems that this is the spot, hey?
Kids. Should we answer some kid questions?
Yeah. These are my forte, I should answer some.
How about this one? Kid question. With work, lifestyle choices, were you ever worried about fertility in your 30s? What do you think?
Yeah.
I could catch fish.
Yeah, you're gonna catch a fish for sure.
Okay, I got a good question for you. Do you ever think how lonely life was without children, Ashley?
Oh man, life was, I'd say, easier without kids. I don't know if boring is the right word. I don't think we had a boring life. But it sure is a lot more fun with kids. It's a lot more intense with children. There's a lot of things that I sometimes miss about my pre-child life, but then I think about not having the kids and I would be sad, I think. Sometimes I think I can easily imagine sleeping in a little bit longer. Life with kids offshore is totally different, man. It is so crazy. You don't get a break. Like, there's no like moments break. You get a break when you're sleeping and then you're back with kids. And or taking care of the boat. So it's just so much more intense. One thing we have noticed is that it's getting a lot easier as Willa gets older and as Bodhi starts to get a bit older. I think we got a few years left where it's gonna be hectic, but we start to see that it can change, and I'm looking to those times. It'll be great. It is great, but it'll be great.
Do you miss land life? Absolutely, we miss land life. It is very intense, the boat life. From chasing kids around the boat, making sure they don't drown, to fixing the boat, to sailing the boat, to moving through different countries. Land life is very nice in terms of endless water, dishwashers, those kind of things. So we do love our breaks. We love rejuvenating, recharging our batteries, and then returning to the boat fully charged up and enjoying a more sparse life on the boat. So conserving water, conserving food because you can't go to the grocery store every day sometimes, and seeing these other cultures that we come across. So I don't know how to explain it. It's like a bit of, what's that phrase? Hum and haw, see, saw.
No, those aren't phrases.
Okay.
Maybe it's a bit of give and take. Oh, you can wipe it on Mama's pants. Okay, good job. So I think I have to agree with Ben. Like, I love land life for visiting family and seeing and having the kids get those experiences with families. So it's super important to us to come home. I love the luxury of land life. It feels so luxurious to have a dishwasher, those kind of things. We do land life for very short periods of time, and we are always ready to go back to the boat when we go back. So I think that the boat is our home and kind of our preferred spot. It's an interesting thing.
Land ho! Can you say land ho, Willa?
Land ho! Want to go get the crabs? Look at, there's one right there. There's millions right here. Look at them all. You ready? That's a lot of crabs, isn't it? They pinch when they get big, right, Willa? Look.
Get big.
Someone says your hair looks amazing, Ashley. They really like the color.
Oh, thank you. I was sick of the blonde, so I have I've gone for a non-permanent brunette. We'll see how it goes. Thank you, though. I really, really appreciate it. I get a lot of comments about negative things, so it's so lovely to hear something positive. So I really, really appreciate that. Absolutely love watching you guys. I'm curious to know what the approximate on-hand finances it takes to start living on a cat of your size. Not boat cost, but the everyday unexpected expenses for the first year of living aboard. What I do have to say is that it is approximately what you spend living on shore. So if you are someone who loves to go out for dinner on land and you're in a place where you can go out for dinner on a boat, you will probably continue to kind of live that lifestyle. If you're a person that scrounges away every little penny and then goes to live on a boat, you will definitely spend less. But in our first year, really the only expenses that we really dealt with were diesel, marina fees, and food and alcohol. And I guess the rule of thumb is you spend what you have in a lot of ways.
For boat maintenance, you're going to spend about 10 to 20% of your boat value every single year. That first year, we didn't do any boat maintenance because we didn't know that it really needed anything. And then we found out and learned that all these things need servicing and upgrades and preventative maintenance. So then, yeah, we truly are spending about 20% of our boat value every year. So the choice eventually ends up being maintain your boat and spend, sweat, or buy a newer boat and maintain it less.
New boat.
Next question is, after your bulkhead experiences, would you consider a monohull? Short answer, no. The catamaran is such an awesome platform for living on. The fact is you're sailing maybe 10-20% of your time and then 80% you're at anchor. So that is where the catamaran trumps all other vessels. We would consider a catamaran with stronger bulkheads. That'd be a nice one. A faster catamaran, a bigger catamaran, but monohull is probably not in our future.
Would you ever consider getting a pet, someone wants to know? And my answer is heck no. For me, living on a boat with a pet is just not something I would ever want to undertake. I totally appreciate that other people do it and they do an amazing job, and it's not for me. Having a pet on board changes where you can cruise sometimes. I think there are benefits, like it gets you to shore every morning, but that's the same if you live on land. It gets you out for a walk, and I think that's wonderful. Countries like Fiji aren't friendly to pets. Countries like Indonesia, where there's and Maldives, they're not friendly to pets either. So it's just not for us.
Has YouTube changed since you started? Is it better or worse? How long did it take you to learn editing and uploading videos? YouTube has changed a lot since we started. The algorithm, which controls how many people see your video, has completely changed, for the better and for the worse. Sometimes we go months with lower view counts because YouTube didn't like our video, people weren't watching as long. And at the end of the day, you just have to simply enjoy what you're doing in terms of your video content. And if you enjoy it personally, then you can keep going. The problem is YouTube revenue fluctuates like crazy. It goes up one month and then down and up. So that is where Patreon comes in for us. Our patrons support us every month, no matter if our videos get a viral hit or not.
There's a seal.
Seals. And that's been a saving grace for us, is having our patrons at our back. As for editing, the editing is actually quite easy to learn. The harder part is learning how to film the shots, how to compose the shots, and then most importantly, how to tell a good story. So the beginning, the middle, the end as a simple part, but you know, posing a question at the beginning of a video and trying to answer it somehow throughout the video, keeping viewers interested, those are all things that you learn over time and get better at. And I don't think we've really figured it out quite yet. I mean, we're still always learning and improving, both in our editing and storytelling. Kids. Well.
So a huge thank you for sending us your questions, and we'll see you next week from the Seychelles.
Oh, there's blackberries right there.
Oh, I love blackberry.
We are literally flying back to the Seychelles in 5 days, so we'll have an update on the boat in the next episode.
It's crazy.
Time to pack.
Whoa!
Caught a blackberry.